American soldiers have provided intelligence to the Army in every conflict since the American Revolution. While the cavalry first served in this role, the Civil War highlighted the need for dedicated intelligence organizations at the unit and staff levels, leveraging new technologies such as the telegraph and aerial observation. By 1885, the Army had established a military intelligence staff division that focused its intelligence efforts through World War I. But it wasn't until World War II that a professional force of officers, enlisted soldiers, and civilians was organized as the Military Intelligence Service, setting the stage for the establishment of the Military Intelligence Corps in 1987. Today's Military Intelligence Corps provides timely, relevant, accurate, and synchronized intelligence and electronic warfare support to tactical, operational, and strategic level commanders, as well as to the larger national intelligence community. The Corps' timeless mission is to find, know, and never lose the enemy. Junior military intelligence officers can expect to spend most of their time in the Army's operating force, honing their small unit leadership and staff expertise. This is an invaluable training and educational experience that helps them to understand the larger Army that they serve. As they approach mid-career, military intelligence officers are afforded opportunities to pursue graduate education and develop expertise suiting them for leadership in either operating force or generating force assignments. They also have opportunities to collaborate with joint, national, and allied intelligence agencies. Military intelligence officers possess a special blend of skills, knowledge, and behaviors. Their unique talents help them to succeed in any mission.
Inspirational leader.
Military Intelligence Corps officers are expert at motivating soldiers, warrant officers, and civilians to work harmoniously towards desired outcomes.
You are working with tons of different types of people.
Building effective teams is very important.
You're going to be leading soldiers who are enormously intelligent and very well educated.
You're working with civilians.
Military intelligence absolutely makes use of warrant officers.
You want everyone sort of working towards a collective goal.
Problem solver.
Military intelligence officers routinely use a mix of established practices and new unorthodox solutions to meeting complex threats and challenges.
I wanted to be an MI officer because I really like looking at the big picture, solving the problems, asking the questions why, how, challenging the current paradigm.
Combat leaders really do look to their intelligence officers to find out what's going on, what do I need to do next, where are the threats, how can I best protect my forces.
Communicator.
Military intelligence officers are precise, efficient, and compelling in both the written and spoken word.
You can't be an effective military intelligence officer without being an effective communicator.
And everyone can articulate an idea. Not so many people are strong communicators.
All of the great intelligence information you have is pretty useless if you can't accurately and effectively communicate.
And if it doesn't make sense, if it's convoluted or even grammatically problematic, the commander won't be able to follow it.
Interdisciplinary.
Military intelligence officers routinely integrate and apply expert knowledge from multiple disciplines into a coherent, overarching perspective.
You can apply a lot of different educational backgrounds to the branch.
Cultural studies,
Philosophy,
Analytics,
Russian,
statistics.
intelligence is absolutely both an art and a science.
You're never done learning. You're always absorbing everything you can.
Perceptive.
Keenly aware of their surroundings, intelligence officers readily discern the deeper meaning of actions, events, or communications in their operating environment.
You get so many reports as an MI officer every day.
MI officers, I've always said, need to be able to read between the lines.
Your ability to sort of anticipate future requirements, to be perceptive, to see patterns emerging where others may not, is pretty important.
Logical, analytical.
Military intelligence officers are able to disaggregate and solve complex problems. Thinking in terms of cause and effect, they logically analyze threats to predict the enemy's most likely courses of action.
Analysis is one of the fundamentals of the branch.
The military intelligence officer looks on the other side of the table and analyzes what the enemy's thinking.
It's unlikely that he is thinking like you are. And it's kind of your job to get in the head of the enemy.
It's almost like a sixth sense that you develop over time.
You can't do this job without those attributes.
I was commissioned through ROTC at Villanova University.
I was commissioned at West Point.
The University of Arizona.
I majored in systems engineering.
International relations.
Political science.
I was a double major in Arabic and Spanish.
The mission of military intelligence, in a nutshell, is to provide decision advantage to the commander. Any commander, any level, whatever the mission is.
Always out front is the motto.
Always out front essentially means intelligence needs to lead maneuver.
Before a maneuver unit hits an objective, we've already thought about what they're going to find while they're there, what they can expect, what the situation they might find themselves in will be.
Most branches are focused on blue force, on the friendly forces, where we are focused on red force, but we can't be successful in that unless we understand both sides.
Tactical intelligence is the baseline.
You need to be tactically proficient and a good, tough leader.
You don't think that you're going to be resigned to a desk.
As you sort of move up in terms of echelon, it becomes more and more important to understand, I think, the broader geopolitical context of the conflict.
I've worked with the FBI, I've worked with the Department of State, I've worked with the CIA.
You're also going to work with other services, the intelligence divisions of the Navy, Air Force, Marines.
There can be a certain perception that, MI is this sort of James Bond slash group of nerds.
You're going to wear civilian clothes all the time and be like the CIA.
Or in a little cubicle, or in a big building like NSA for the rest of your career.
It's neither.
You're not a spy. That's not what intelligence officers do.
Intelligence is a great branch.
I liked being able to provide intelligence at levels, echelons above Corps, to have an impact that's kind of greater than myself.
If you have an analytical mindset,
You can't go on autopilot in this branch.
if you can function in a high-stress environment,
You have to stay focused. You have to perform. You have to think.
then this branch might be for you.
MI is there to serve the warfighter.
What I'm doing is making a difference.
Always out front.